In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about chatbots, ChatGPT, and Google search. And we're going to take a look at 4 or 5 different chatbot clients. As usual, I'm doing this on a Chromebook to show you how versatile they are and how you can use them to do this type of work with AI. You don't have to have the latest, greatest, most powerful technology in a computer. All you need is a Chromebook, a cell phone, a tablet, or a PC, Mac, or Linux machine, and an internet connectivity. First thing we're going to look at is Gemini. Gemini is the Google chat client. Now, what we're going to do first is we're going to enter a prompt here. The prompt is the question that you're going to ask AI to generate some content from. You'll notice you can type it in, you can put a picture in and say, describe this, or you can use your microphone to just talk to the computer. I can't use the microphone now because I'm using it to generate this video. So I'm going to go in and I'm not going to put that one in yet. I'm going to go to one that I've already done, which is Gemini versus it's chatbot versus GPT. And people use it interchangeably. Okay, they think that saying chatbot or ChatGPT and chatbot is the same as saying, do you want a Coke? Yeah, bring me a Dr. Pepper. Okay, it's everything in the South is a Coke, but it's different flavors. So there is a difference between chatbots and ChatGPT, and we're going to get into that a little bit more in detail. But basically, you can see here that using terms interchangeably can lead to misunderstandings of what you think you're going to get. You think you're going to get one thing and you get a totally different thing. Chatbots are the conversational agents. ChatGPT, while it is a chatbot, ChatGPT also is the language model that has all the content in it that you're going to be pulling information from. So with that, now we're going to get into Gemini, which is Google's chat bot. We're going to use this same prompt over and over again on all of the different chat bots that we use. We're going to generate a paper discussing the definition of these different things. Now you'll notice I can paste that in, I can type it in, I can put a picture and say, look at this and analyze it. I can use the microphone and speak to the computer. Lots of different ways to get the content in. And you'll notice at the bottom it says Gemini may display inaccurate info, including about people, so double check its responses. Your privacy is part of is pretty important to them. Also, you'll notice at the top, you've got to have an account. It's a free account. It's just something that when you're generating your different prompts, it can be saved. So anyway, we'll come back down here. We'll generate our first prompt. And we'll see we want to get a paper discussing the definition. And all we're doing is say, give us definitions. So it starts out and it defines the terms, gives us similarities and differences, and does any bias and misinformation. Now, one thing that I have learned, every time you go back and do this, you're going to get some different answers. So it's not giving you the same information every time. If I wanted to go back here and do it again, let's just start a new chat so we can get everything started fresh. I'll put this in. I'm going to take out the part about citing bibliographies. You always want to start with a new chat. You want this clean. You don't want everything else you've been looking on and just building on, because then you won't know which one of these you need to go look at. So we're going to look at this again. And again, you see some of the same things. Some of them are different. And that's fine. But one thing this one did not give us, I've seen some that will give you a table with the differences. Chatbots, when you look at chatbots, ChatGPT, and Google search, it's like when you go to do a presentation on something, interstellar space travel, and you go to the library. You ask the librarian, where's the interstellar space travel section? And they take you to something somewhere between a mix of the Library of Congress and the warehouse that they stored the stuff in for the Raiders of the Lost Ark. You don't have time to go through all that. You'll be retired before you get your information. So that's what Google searches are. You put in what you're looking for, it looks for keywords that are in a web pages, in the metadata of a web page. So it's not going out and getting the best stuff. It's going to start off getting things that are sponsored. Somebody paid Google to put them at the top of the search. Everything else is, it may be this, it may not have this, but you're just getting everything that's on the known internet as a search result. And you could go through that and go down that rabbit hole and be there for years. Okay, that's where we come up with ChatGPT. You go and you go to the library and say, hey, I can't go through all of this stuff. Can you just maybe point me to a section where it's got the top information I can go through? They say, yeah, sure, come on. And they walk you into a room that's as big as the Superdome. And they say, well, these books are all the really things that you need to know about interstellar space travel. That's what ChatGPT is. ChatGPT is just all the information that a particular model has been trained on. It's not going out and getting everything off the internet. It's condensing it down to this one model that's got all the information that they felt is necessary. You're still not where you want to be. So you go back to the library and say, look, I don't have time to go through this thing and look for information. Can you just summarize it for me? Of course, the librarian, having been an astronaut in a previous life, goes into detail and gives them references and everything from where they got the information. And that's what a chatbot is. A chatbot goes in, takes your request, and goes into the model, the GPT model that it's using, and generates the information from that. So at the top of the chain, you've got the chatbot. It's going to go into the middle of the chain and get the information from a GPT model, which has been created by somebody who went into the Raiders of the Lost Ark warehouse and got all that information and put anything that looked like it was pertinent inside that GPT model. So that's what you've got here. You've got similarities, you've got differences, the different purposes, the depth of understanding, ethical considerations. Okay, you can dig that. You can live with that. So the next thing we're going to do is say, I like that, but I cannot use this material as it is because I'm a professional. I may be a teacher. I may be a consultant. I might just be somebody that's doing a presentation for somebody. I've got to have some backup. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to this initial prompt and we're going to say edit the text, and I'm going to go back in and paste it all. It says now cite references, footnotes. I'm going to put create footnotes and create bibliographies. And I'm going to copy that for use later. So now I'm going to update this. Same thing, but this time it's going to come in and give me a little bit more information. And as you can see, it's coming down. As we get to the bottom of it, we've got sources and related content. Now, it still did not generate the footnotes that I wanted. Okay, now it's going back and giving the footnotes. Sometimes it takes a minute to get it back. You'll notice some of these passages, the introduction right here, paper will delve into the definitions and stuff. There's a drop-down box. You click that. This comes from Northwest Education. Now, I'm not sure where Northwest is, but you can go and look at that. And I urge you to, because then they've got 3 dots over here and you get to rate this information. Is it helpful or not helpful? So you're helping to train the GPT model that this is using. And as you continue down, you can see what is Chatbot. And this is from Cloudflare, onlinedegrees.scu.edu, and weathercompany.com. So you've just got all these different pieces of information. What is a chatbot? That comes from OpenAI. You've got a couple of things that come from OpenAI. And you've got similarities, all these different things, and you've got your sources. They didn't really give you a bibliography. That's okay. Because the most important thing is you are the SME. A SME is a subject matter expert. You've been to college, you've gotten your degree, you've been teaching, you've been consulting, you've been a professional out there for many years. So you know your field of study. You know if something looks right or looks wrong. Go with your gut on this. If something doesn't look right, look at it and go back. One thing you can do with this is you can come down here and double check the responses with Google. What this is going to do is it's going to search all this information. And see, it's going to search, these other search topics are chatbots, ChatGPT, and Google search. Is ChatGPT the same as Google search? How to use Google AI chatbot. Now we've got this done, and it says understand the results. And if it's green, Google's found content that's similar to it. If it's red, it found content that is different from the statement, or it didn't find any relevant content. So what you can do now is you can go back and look at these things. And right now I'm seeing a lot of green. So that means there's similar stuff out there. I don't see anything red. If I saw something red, like here's something that's in green, I can go to that and it says Google search found content like this. It's used by companies to help answer customer queries. They're also used by people for malicious reasons like spreading rumors. And that came from Young.Scott. And if we look at the chatbot definition, we can come right here. And again, it comes from onlinedegrees.scu.edu. So there's all sorts of stuff that you can do here. If I wanted to take this and say, real quick before we go on and move to the next stuff, I'm going to edit my text and I'm going to say generate an FAQ. Okay, so this is what you can do to share with other people when you're doing a presentation, when you're doing something in a classroom, if you're doing anything, if you're a chemistry professor, you can talk about the FAQs of safe lab preparation and proper demeanor and SOPs in a lab. So I'm just going to say update this. And again, now you're going to see it's going to come through, and it's not going to have as much a discussion as it is now an FAQ. What's this chatbot? What is a GPT? All of this stuff right here. And again, once it gets done, now they can give you some stuff with footnotes and citations. There's from Google, that's from Google, because that's about Google search. I would not expect you to get stuff about a Google search from Microsoft Bing. I just don't think it's going to happen. You know, what is ChatGPT? And again, you look here, it comes from Scribber, it comes from Web Listing Guru, and this one is from McKinsey.com and smile.eu, EU being in the European Union. So I've got all of this information. And again, this time they've got references listed. OpenAI.com, Google.com, Russell S. Norvig P., Artificial Intelligence, A Modern Approach. Footnotes, it tells you for more information, do this. Here's some more bibliography. So it depends on how you talk to the computer, okay? It's all in the terminology. We'll do one more because it's just interesting how you can do this. Let's say if we wanted to come in here and generate a 10 slide professional PowerPoint presentation. Okay. So now we've done what would have been a document. Now we're doing an FAQ that you could just generate and put up on the wall somewhere. We'll update this. And now you'll see it starts out giving you the slide and the content for a PowerPoint presentation. You want your title, your name, your date, and probably an image. It gives you an idea of what image you want. No, this isn't supposed to write the presentation for you, but it can definitely give you some ideas on where to start and how many slides you want and what you can put on each slide. So it's very, very simple to go in and repurpose this stuff. Now, one thing I forgot to show you, modify the response. You like this stuff, but you know, you're always looking to have something that more people can understand. So let's make it more casual. You just tap that button, more casual, and now it's going to come back and it's going to, you know, basically chatbots are like your AI pals. You know, this one's a big deal. This is not at all professional. This is just something you'd be sitting around at a conference somewhere, having lunch with somebody, talking about it. You're just talking about it. If I wanted to come down and do this as more professional, now we'll see the difference here. And we see, you know, the highlight, large language model capable of generating human quality text, emphasize the common function in providing information, discuss the shared ability of all three to understand and respect. So, I mean, it's going to give you what you need. It's going to give you an idea. So if you're looking to try to reach a certain audience, you can use that. Now, we'll just come back up here and pop this initial one back in, because I want to show you what you can do with that. Now there's your introduction again, the same thing we've seen time and time again. Ethical considerations, all this stuff. Now, when you've gotten what you want, if this is an introduction to a unit in an online course, or if this is something that you're using to work with somebody and you're working on a paper together, you come down here, you get the information. Now, you can share this or export it. You can share it by clicking on creating a public link, and then you can embed that in your online learning. So when a student goes in there, they can see this information. You can also export it to a document or send it as a draft in Gmail. So you can give it to anybody that you need to. Additionally, you can just copy the content if you wanted to put it into a PDF or something. So we have no problem there. One other thing I want to show you before we move on to the next one, and this is what makes it pretty cool with the Google Gemini. If you've got some people that hear better than they read, you can simply click on this listen button and it will read the information to the user. Let's take a listen.
Chatbots, ChatGPT, and Google Search, a comparative analysis. Introduction. In the digital age, artificial intelligence, AI, has revolutionized the way we interact with information and technology.
Now, one of the good things about this also, y'all can probably tell I got a Southern accent. May not be easy for some people to understand. They don't understand the y'all stuff. So, or the Southern drawl. So by doing this, anybody can understand the language. This is Google Gemini. Let's move on and look at the next ones, because the next ones you're going to see, it's ChatGPT, 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 and ChatGPT. And then we get to Anikin. Not that it's going to be Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars. But again, a lot of these are going to be called ChatGPT just because that's what everybody else uses. Now, this ChatGPT 4.0 free, not 4.0, but 4.0 free, is actually from ChatGPT 4.0.1, not from ChatGPT AI, but from ChatGPT 4.0.1. You'll notice it's got try ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo, try Chat or Zero GPT AI, or some other AI tools. So again, we're going to come down here. It says, hello, I'm ChatGPT 4.0 chatbot. Ask me anything. You'll notice you've got 2,000 tokens for a day. That's how they generate this thing. Is you've got ads all over the place. That's how they generate revenue. But if you've got 20,000 tokens a day, you're not going to run out. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to paste in this same thing we did on the first one, and we're going to search for it. And you can see it's going through creating the content, just like we asked it to. And it's kind of hung up there for some reason. There we go. After it was getting there, it went in and put your references. It's got your conclusion. It's got information about your Google search, chatbots and GPTs, ethical implications, the differences, the similarities, everything right there. So this is going to give you everything you want to know. Understanding chatbots, introduction, definitions. Now, just like the other one, if we want to come in here and change this, where is my button today? This one does not have the ability to edit, so you have to save that. And if I wanted to generate an FAQ, now you can come in and generate an FAQ, and it starts doing it. And this is technology, so sometimes it does have a hiccup on some of these other ones. I mean, You never know which one is going to be working. You never know what the problem is on your connection. Is it your connectivity? Is it the routing system somewhere? Try this one more time. And if not, we'll just continue on. I've got that. And it's gathering information. It's just not coming back quick enough. So, and if you look at the top here, you will see that ChatGPT 4.0 is the newest flagship from OpenAI. But they've got different ones. Again, with this one, if you wanted to, you can come over here and share this. This share button comes to different buttons. You can copy it, so you can print it out as a PDF. You can actually print it out. You can send it to Pinterest, Messenger, Facebook. You can send it to the social media formerly known as Twitter. You can put it on a blog, anything you'd like. But it's the same thing. It's generating the same information. It's just going to be a little bit different on each one. Now, the next one is going to be another ChatGPT. This one, however, is from ChatGPT free.ai. It's getting like spelling Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. So you've got that, and you'll notice the interface looks pretty much like the other one, except this one says try GPT 4.0 free or 0 or other tools. So now we're going to come in, enter your message. I'm going to enter the same message that we've had before. And when we enter it, it's thinking, and then it goes through and it generates everything that we've talked about in the previous ones. You can print these out if you'd like, so you can take a look and see if they are similar enough that you can just pick one and use it, or if there are different parts of each one that you want to use. Now you'll notice this one again, once it got down here and got everything done, it gave us references. Are these the same references from the previous ones? Probably not. But that's okay, because you can look and see which ones you want. You may not want some of these things. Again, you can share this. You can email it. I'm not sure where that shares to. That's LinkedIn, Reddit, the social media formerly known as Twitter, and Facebook. And of course, if you want to go in and have the question again, just simply paste it in, make a few changes, and then run the query again. And again, each interface is a little different than the next one. So that was ChatGPT free. The next one is ChatGPT from OpenAI. And this has a different look, and it says start now. So we're going to start, and it's going to open up a new window, and it's going to say create your message. So we're going to send our message here, and we're going to send it off, see what it comes up with. Now, one thing you'll notice on ChatGPT from chatgpt.com, on the left-hand side, you've got some other things like an image generator, a presentation generator. You've got Explore GPTs. What these are other bots that chatgpt.com created. So you can go here and look at them in a minute. But here's your different definitions, your chat bot, your information, your similarities, your differences. Everything is pretty much the same as the others. Maybe there's one sentence in here that's different that you like that you want to use in the other one, or this one has more information on ethical use. So you may want to use part of this. The good thing is you can pull information and then work on it. You don't want to just take it and be done with it. There's your bibliography. So there's all your information. And there's footnotes. So this may give you a little bit more, and you'll notice it puts over here today, chatbots versus Google search. The options are to share it, to rename it, to archive it, or to delete it. You always want to keep it there because you never know when you're going to want to come back to it and revise it. Renaming it is as simple as renaming it. So I can come back up here and I'll copy that, rename it, and paste that in. So now I've got a better idea of what it is. If I want to share it, you click share, and now you can create a link and share it with somebody. So that's always a good thing. Now, again, you've got different plans here. The free plan tells you what you get with this, how you can do it. Here's what the $20 a month plan does. I would not worry about that at this point. There are so many different tools out there. There's no sense in my mind to pay for one unless it just knocks your socks off. There's just no reason to pay $20 a year for that. So we're not going to worry about that. Again, if I wanted to generate, if I want to come over here, this one gives you the ability to change this. So I'm going to say, create a, let's do PowerPoint. Yeah, PowerPoint. PowerPoint presentation. And we're going to send it. So now it's analyzing it, and it's going to come back and generate something different than what you had before. And as I said, this is not going to write that presentation for you. Okay? You're going to have to do that. But this will give you I always know when I was doing presentations, when I worked for the university, I had a good basis. But where do you start? How do you do it? How many slides do you want to do? How many is too many? How many is too short? With this, it will do it for you, but then you can come and edit it as you need it. And it's just going ahead and analyzing it. There it is. It's looking at what they want to do. It's creating the different things. So now you see all of a sudden it's coming in and it's got a presentation ready. So let's just download the presentation. We're going to save that. We're going to show in the folder. And where is it? Chatbot. Use Google Slides and open. But I've got to move it upstairs first. But now, here's a PowerPoint presentation generated by a computer. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, everything you need. So that's pretty cool that it can give you that. And you can come back in and clean it up and do whatever you'd like to with it. So that's where it is. If you just want to do FAQ for middle school students, whoops. Yeah, I know. I make mistakes too. I can say oops. Don't worry about that. Generate FAQ for middle school students. And so now I can generate that. And it's going to give you this stuff, and it's going to be written for younger people. So you don't have to start scratching your head trying to figure out how to make it more for students. This will do it for you. Okay. And again, then you can share the chat right there with no problem. You copy the link and you go. You can share your name if you'd like, anything you want. You can give this to other teachers. You can give this to other professionals. You can give it to students. But there are the footnotes right there and the bibliography. So we're going to take a look at two more real quick, one for sure, maybe two. The first one is Anikin AI. And this, again, is just like the OpenAI.com. They have some other tools over here, some other bots that they've already created. If I wanted to do my presentation, well, and of course I would do that. That's why I keep things around. I'll come back to Anikin. I'm going to pop this in because this is the same one we've started everything else with. And you can see it's got a different title, and it's got references and footnotes. Everything you asked for. If I wanted to go in and say, generate, what are chatbots? You can add that in there. How does a ChatGPT work? You can do that. Pre-training, fine-tuning, inference, everything else. Everything is right here. It will give it to you. Now, one thing you see is at the bottom, you've got number of credits you've got left. You've got 217 credits. We used one generating this. Now, at the very beginning of this very long presentation, we talked about the different GPT models, the difference in chatbots, ChatGPT, and different things. ChatGPT is a model. So when you go down here, now you'll see you've got ChatGPT 4.0 Mini, 4.0, which is pricey, 4.0 Turbo, which is pricey, 3.5 Turbo, 0.1 Preview, 0.1 Mini. Then there's Claude, 3, 3.5, and 3 Opus. There's Gemini. There's Dolphin. There's Metayama. There's Mistral Large. There's Open Chat. Then you've got OpenAI stuff that you can go down here and look through. And then you've got all these others. Here's some free models. So it depends on which one you choose. I have no clue what Owen 1.5 is. So we'll just come in here and choose Owen 1.5. And now we will check this out. And it may give you information that you like. It may not. But that's where this all comes in. It's not just ChatGPT. There are different models to it. Now, the other thing that Anikin does is it gives you the ability, if you wanted to write Instagram captions, if you were responsible for social media with your classroom or an athletic team or a business or something, you can go in here and tell Instagram captions And I'm going to say, what do we want to do? We're going to do Craig's computer projects. And the target is going to be for everybody. And so I'm going to just go ahead and then generate. And there are some friendly Instagram captions. So you can do that. Very easy. Okay. If I wanted to do a presentation, they've got two different presentation makers in there. And again, we'll just pop in the one we've been doing. The writing tone, now we've got formal, professional, persuasive. Let's make it fun. Number of slides, 20. Because I got an hour to do a presentation and you're going to do about a minute to two per slide. That's what I'm going to need. So now I'm going to go, and you see that's coming from Gemini Pro. And so I'll generate it. And it's going to give me all the different information right there. So it's good to go. There's another one. But again, the topic is going to be the same thing. I can make this educational. Number of slides, 10. And we'll start it. And again, each one of these things does a little different. So you're going to find the one that you think is the best one for you. But don't be afraid to use the others. Don't be afraid to try the others. And again, this particular one used 2 tokens. Now, before you start freaking out about, I've got to manage my tokens, the tokens refresh every day. Okay? So you may have different things that you try on different ones, but all of them refresh every day. So you're never going to run out. And if you do, let me know. So here's all the information for the presentation right here. Actually, that took up 7 tokens. And if I click on that, it will tell me what my credits are. And I get 30 credits per day. I don't know if they roll over or not, but you get 30 credits per day, and that's on Anikin, compared to the 200,000 on one of the ChatGPTs and the limitless on Gemini. Now, what I'm going to do, one last thing, we're going to try this because, like I said, everybody has their own ChatGPT or their own chatbot. Microsoft has their own. It's called CoPilot. And you can use these on, like I said, PC, Mac, Linux. You can use it on an Android phone, on an iPhone, whatever you want. You can use it on a Chromebook. But it's trying to connect, and sometimes it does not connect good. So you just got to work through this. This one you cannot go full screen because it is designed for use on a phone or a tablet, but not a Chromebook full screen. It works fine on a PC. It works fine on a phone or tablet. Now you'll notice right here when you go to CoPilot, it's got use GPT-4, or I can back it down and not use GPT-4. It's whichever I want to use. So then I go in, I type in my prompt that I want to look for. And again, you can speak it in if you'd like. And now it's going to generate right here. And it's looking for information. And eventually it's going to say, yeah, I think I can do this. Aren't you glad it doesn't talk like I do? And as you can see, as it starts, there's a footnote and a footnote. And as it adds a footnote, it adds it down here. So you can read through this. You get 30 to 50 tokens per day on CoPilot. And it's very, very easy to use. CoPilot, you can actually get some additional plugins to it. You can show the different tones that you can use, the speaking tones, the presentation tones. You can give it feedback. All of it's right there. You can put a picture in here and let it go. Again, you do have to have an account on all of these. And when I say it's an account, it's not really an account. You just have to give it an email address and a password so that they know it's you when you come in. And it's very good to be able to go back and look at this data later on. If you do something on Chatbots, ChatGPT, and Google search in September, and then you come back in February for a conference and they want you to do another one, you can update it by simply going in and use what you've already got. So you don't have to worry about starting from scratch again. And you can see it's got all sorts of information here. If you click on 8, it takes you right down here. So you've got PC Magazine, you've got Geeks for Geeks, Wikipedia, Open AI, IBM, Bing, ChatFuel. So all these things are out there, but keep in mind, you are the SME. And as the SME, you know what your guidelines are. If you're an instructor, you know you've got to go by what's contained in your state-approved curriculum. If you are a consultant for a specific company in a specific industry field, you got to make sure that the content is in line with that, not just generalities. So you always need to keep that in mind, that you're the SME, you know who your audience is, who it's for, how it's got to be wrapped up, and how it's got to look just like your curriculum or the company you're presenting for or the conference you're presenting at. But this will give you a great place to start. And again, under the conclusion, you can see here the Oxford dictionaries, the Open AI, all this stuff right here. And you can go look at it. Now again, just like on Gemini, you can play this back and you can listen to it. And of course, as soon as I say, it won't talk to me. You can share it. You can copy it. And then when you get this information, you can give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Yeah, there's the different things you've got. You've got Viber, Dropbox, Firefox, anything you want. You can copy the information. So it's all right there for you to go to. And that's all you've got to do. So I know this has been long, and I apologize for that. I hope you have, if nothing else, learned that using the term chatbot, ChatGPT interchangeably is not the same thing. It's kind of like giving the temperature in Fahrenheit versus Celsius. 34 Celsius seems cold, when in reality it's probably about 100 degrees. So it's all in the terminology. Know the difference and the similarities in the ones. Remember, when using AI online, use it responsibly. Use Google search if you just want to see what all's out there about a topic, because it's just going to find anything with certain keywords in a metadata. You can use the ChatGPT and choose the different models because they're going to have different content. But the bottom line is, even when you use a different model, you still got to use a chat bot to enter the data and enter your prompt into. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. And thanks for your time.